Okay, so a lot of things are happening really fast, but today we finally had a talk about our release date with our marketing guy Patrick.
But before we get to this part, I have to update you on what's been happening, because our portals have a ghost now. Ooh. And they also use animations, which is kind of cool.
Wow!
We also had to test all our levels again because we have to configure our hint system. Only problem, some of our solutions were outdated because we updated the levels, and so we had to play them again and find the solutions. And why does this remind me of cats organized neatly?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that.
Speaking of outdated, we finally tackled our ugly river, and by we I mean our friend Julian helped us out with the shader. I did some basic frame-by-frame wave animations, hoping that he could somehow use them to make something cool, but yeah, it's a work in progress. Lastly, we overhauled our level map because this one looked like ass. We decided to split it into two parts so it wouldn't be as cluttered, and then I had the brilliant idea to make all these levels as little islands, so the map would look like the in-game levels and it would be cool, and this will definitely not become an issue long term, don't worry about it.
We finally had a talk about our release date with our marketing guy Patrick, who's kind of managing the Steam release for us. He's been poking us about when a good time to release the game would be, and we've always been like, yeah, maybe the end of June? Don't know, and that always seemed so far away. And today he was asking us if we can do the 8th of June. That's kind of close. So what we settled on, the final release date, 22nd of June, so like 2 weeks later. Like, the reason that we're independent is because we don't want publishers to force stupid deadlines onto us. On the other hand, finally having a deadline that also makes sense is kind of motivating, because we've just been kind of floating around working on the game, maybe prioritizing not so important features because they're fun to work on versus important features that are not as much fun. So having a deadline is actually really helpful in just, yeah, like giving us a goal. It's really motivating to finally have a date that we can focus our attention on. On the other hand, that only gives us 1.5 months, which should be enough time, but I don't fucking know. We have a list with all of the things that still need to go into the game. The only like big mystery that we are trying to figure out at this moment is the UI.
The most important UI element I needed to make was the tutorial. I started by building the character introduction screen and used that as the basis for all the other screens. And then I literally just mock up the tutorial step by step as if you were playing through it. Oh yeah, and can you see how this button has 3 faces on it? Well, in the first 9 levels you only have 1 character and don't know what the other 2 look like yet. So I needed to make 2 more buttons, and I just wanted to show this to give you a taste of like how detailed and how finalized all this has to be. I finished the other 2 character intros and made more tutorial text bubbles. Then I start working on the item introduction. I struggled a bit on this one, but got there in the end. That reminds me, isn't our throwing pen red now? But there is more important things, like the head-up display. That now needs to match the rest of the UI. And there is really no pretty way to film this because I have to zoom in and out a lot more and like move the screen, and the whole process is just very chaotic. Basically, I'm just taking the old UI and rounding everything and trying to move and resize elements just so they fit a little nicer. The last screen I want to talk about is the photo unlock screen, because I made the background in a way where we can recolor it in Gamemaker and the background color matches the setting. So a monster from the autumn forest has a beige backdrop and not a blue one, but they use the same assets.
I haven't really filmed for the past, I think, 2 weeks, because ever since we set a release date, Joseph and me have just been working on the game non-stop. I think you already know the world map that we made, and if you click on one of the worlds it brings you into Levelmap, and we've been pretty much making all these little small islands for each and every level. We've also been working on the tutorial UI, overhauling the whole player interface. It is like the last big thing that we need to do before we can start polishing. And it's been going super well, super smooth. Today was a really good day. And an hour ago, I wanted to save out the last couple graphics and just put them in Gamemaker and add 3 fonts so that Uzia can start implementing the UI, because I've written this really nice document where I lay out how everything should be implemented. And then my second monitor just went black, and then the other monitor decided to shut down as well, unplug the power and restart. And when I restarted, I got the info that my Photoshop drivers weren't working anymore. Then I wanted to update my graphics card. Then my graphics card was like, Windows update may have automatically replaced your AMD graphics driver. I just want to finish my shit. That's why my fucking Photoshop crashed an hour ago. This is so stupid. It works now. I'm gonna implement the last, I think, 10 graphics, implement the fonts, and then we can finally work on the UI and get it in-game and like click around and see it in action.
The next day, the UI was already implemented. Woohoo! Wow, so new and shiny. Wow. Great news, right? You're wrong. Let's look at this again. Why are the fonts so small? This graphic isn't rotating, it should be. These corners don't look right. Wait, did I forget to upload the new button? Yeah, there was a lot of things we needed to fix.
Alright, good news. We got selected for WHOLESOME Direct again this year, which is great because that is like 2 weeks before our release date, which is amazing. What's not so great is I thought the content deadline was at the end of May, but it's the 2nd of May. So yeah, Joseph told me that last Friday, and I was like, fuck. And then both of us were invited to a wedding. We got sick, of course. Oh yeah, I haven't even told you. We got selected for a 30-second reveal trailer at WHOLESOME Direct. So these past couple of days, I've been cutting together a really rough trailer. And then Uzia last night made the awesome change that we can now disable the interface. So right now I'm gonna record some shots without the interface, swap those out, render it out, send the trailer over so Joseph and Patrick can also have a look at it, and I think then we're done. The 28th, so in theory I still have 4 days, but on the 1st of May, which is a public holiday here in Germany, that's also my birthday. So, no, but actually, this all sounds like way more dramatic than it is. We've been making some amazing progress on the interface. Wait, let me show you. Alrighty. Yeah, this is how I game. And it's just like minor changes, but I've made everything a little more organic. Spacing here still needs to be corrected. Language menu. Oh yeah, the interface over here has changed. We now have a state for mouse over and then for selected. Yeah, this one, the spacing is also not correct, but like, look at that box. That's a nice box. And yeah, now you can select the character for whom you want a hint. Click on them. We're making progress. I think the last two screens that are still missing is this one, the help menu, because right now we only have this graphic. Oh yeah, the little here, it's just lots of little nice things and it's just slowly coming together and that makes me very happy. Work on the tile sets. The layouts for all of the items are in place. I've done most of the level art, but I need to polish them up. Like there's still some... Let me show you. Oh yeah, here. Look at the bridge. How can I... Yuzia, you're a genius. That is so good. I'm gonna go record my trailer now. I'm really excited and I think I'm gonna talk to you after this whole trailer, birthday, sick period is over.
Since we had added a lot of text to the game, it was time to finally rename and sort our fonts, because we will also need to start with localization soonish. So let me just rename these fonts really quick. And why is it not working? Why are you hiding in a variable? Oh my god, I have to change all these manually!
Today we are trying to tidy up the interface. Elements that have the wrong font, or things that need to be moved 1 pixel to the right, to the left, or up and down, and... Oh yeah, tight. It's like, there's so many new and cool things that I'm very excited about, but it's also like every level, every screen, we find something new that we still need to tweak, so it just takes forever.
Yeah, this is just what development looked like for a couple of days. I literally have my Photoshop reference on one monitor and try to just move shit around in Gamemaker so it matches, which it often doesn't, and then I have to figure out why. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're wondering what Joseph's up to, he's writing down all these texts for the tutorial into sheets because we realized that we wanted to launch with a bunch of languages. It was also at this point that we realized just how much text we had. We had all the UI stuff and the tutorial, but Joseph had also written introduction text for all the cute monsters, which was just 1 or 2 sentences for each monster, but we had 42 of them.
Was heißt denn current auf Deutsch?
Strömung.
Strömung. Danke. Oh, I think I know what this is. Wait, is it just the resize? Are you shitting me? Good morning. I resized all of the images yesterday to 0.9 scale so they would fit nicely, and I thought I could do it in Engine and it would be quicker than doing it in Photoshop and re-importing and sorting everything. Apparently that's causing bugs. Plan for today: finish all of the texts and get the level map for the first setting looking decent. Oh my god, I just read the error message. And it doesn't have to do anything with the photos. It has to do with the area name, which is in our language file, or I just need to delete my save file. If it's deleting my save file, I'm gonna be mad. Bye. At the moment, Joseph's working on implementing the texts. The game launched. Oh, it was my fucking save file. I'm mad. No. Oh, I could have kept the images. We're gonna launch in 2 months. 1.5. 1.5.
Just to explain why I wanted to size down those images in the first place, let's have a look at the collection. This is what the layout looks like right now. But after we had all those cute texts, we wanted you to be able to reread the monster text. But there was just no space for it. So after struggling for a couple of days and crying about it to my UI friend Celie, this is how we managed to integrate the text. Oh yeah, by the way, during all of this, we were still making the islands for the level map because we needed 200 of them, which I somehow didn't calculate when I hatched that plan. Speaking of the level map,
I wanted to test what happens if I animate the clouds, but now that I'm seeing it, like, I don't know. This is my plan for the level map. I've already swapped out these markers, so that's gonna be easy to do. The only thing that I haven't quite figured out is this part, because right now we only have straight lines, and I don't know, we have the first layer of clouds. Make it all seem a bit more dynamic, like how the cloud overlaps the island here. The already unlocked ones are getting some outlines, and the focused one, mouse over one, is getting a white outline. That is something that we can easily do. The other ones are gonna be silhouetted. So yeah, my plan is to build this for the first setting, then probably let it rest for like 1 to 2 days, and that if I still like it, I'm just gonna do that for all of the settings. And I think that's the last major part that we need to do for the game, which has me very excited. Once we have the level maps in place, it's really just like polish. This is the last big chunk.
redoing this map was so much more work than I had anticipated. But I think I'll show you how it turned out in the end in the next and final devlog. And yeah, you heard that right, we're almost done with the game. If you made it to the end of this video, please wishlist our game on Steam. The link is in the video description. And if you like Feed on Monsters, if you like puzzle games, you can start purchasing it starting on the 22nd of June. And of course, if you have time to write a Steam review, we'd be super grateful because, as you know, every single one of those helps a ton. So yeah, see you in the next devlog.